Sander, didn't we make hard work of that, man? Listen, we've won 2-1 in the end, made an absolute meal of it, almost made a hash of it. It looked like Tim Krul was going to be the hero of the day, but it wasn't. It was Captain Fantastic, Mr. Harry Maguire. But in all honesty, look, there's not a lot to rave about in terms of the performance because it wasn't good. We were second best and poor for large parts, man. But where would you start in dissecting that?
As you say, it was poor. And as I said last week in my fan cam, there's always going to be ups and downs. And that's just how football and life is. Now, as you get better as a team, you become more consistent and those ups and downs happen less and it's mainly ups, right? But we're not there yet. We still have a young team. And, especially with the second string team that we put out today, you are going to have a drop off in quality. And we saw that. And I think I don't think you can have a real go at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think maybe, he made quite a lot of changes. Now, whether that's the right thing to do or not, I don't know.
What was it? Well, was that the right thing to do? I know it's easy to say it was if we won, or it's not because we were poor. What do you think? What was your gut feeling beyond like going into the game? Should he have made 8 changes for you?
It's easy to say in retrospect, but I was worried when I saw that team. When I looked at it, I thought lack of width. And there's a lack of width and there's a lack of pace there. And that came to fruition. We struggled to get in behind him. Bruno, even though he didn't have the best game, actually, I think one of his poorest, but you can do that when you've been as good as he has been. But when he got on the ball and he was looking in for balls in behind, he looked to the right. He had Mata standing next to him because he can't make a run in behind. And he looked left and he thought, Lingard, there's no point in playing in the ball. So it was difficult. There's a few times where Ighalo made a run, but again, he's not got sort of lightning wheels on him either. So I saw a lack of width and I saw a lack of pace. But, we've won the game. And if we went out and won 3-0 against the bottom of the league, Norwich, you go, brilliant. He's made all the changes. He's given them a rest. They can go full steam ahead against Brighton. So retrospect is a lovely thing in that sense. But listen, I can't complain, really. We got the win. We're on to the semi-finals. It's a cup competition. So we've been playing so well recently, I think, as well. So, as I said, you are going to have your dip.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad performances today, and a lot in the fan cams. We've spoke about them, and I'm sure you've got your thoughts on that. But I want to talk about the little glimpses of positivity, the little glimpses of good performances. Ighalo again. I'm not saying he was heavily involved from start to finish because we didn't really play that way. He was isolated a lot of time, but when we needed a goal to come up, when we needed someone to come up with a goal, the type of goal as well. That's that proper number 9, good finish. Then he's involved in getting closer, sent off, rolled his man in a good position. So he's played 2 key parts in that. Even involved a little bit in when we scored the winner as well. Just being in there, being a nuisance. It's at least it's good for him as well as a positive.
Yeah, of course. There are positives to take out of it. Absolutely. As you say, Odin Ighalo is one of them. It's fantastic to have a more experienced goal scorer in the team. We've got all these young players, but you need the slightly more mature head on their shoulders. And as you say, he was involved in all the good things that we did today. He made that run in behind for Bruno in the first half where he could have done a little bit better. When he gets the ball to him with his back facing goal, he's usually fantastic at holding the ball up and laying it off. Unfortunately, today we didn't have too many people to lay it off to, but the idea is still there. As you say, he got the goal. That's not an easy finish to do. He spins, he hits it in the net. That's a fantastic little goal. And as you say, then lovely little flick from Bruno in behind Frodi and Ighalo, and he gets the man sent off. Ultimately, that is a big part of the reason why we won the game, because they had 10 men, we had 11, right?
Do you see him as like a perfect alternative to the forwards we have? Is he proving that when he plays, he seems to be like showing why he's the chalk to the cheese sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think you always need a variety of different types of players on the pitch, and up front is no different, right? You've got Rashford, who's slightly more left-sided, but you've got Martial, who, despite becoming slightly more of a number 9 in recent in the last year or so, he still is that slightly more silky player who wants to run in behind. But Odin Ighalo, as I said, can get the ball to feet and lay it off, and that's a fantastic thing to have in your arsenal. I'm not sure I'd keep him past the contract that he's extended. And that's not a knock on him. That's not saying that, he's a bad player, but there's a time and a space for players. And this is his time and place for Manchester United. Right time, right? Exactly. And once you prolong that, you start making mistakes, and then you've got a bit of deadwood, as we saw today with the likes of Lingard, Mata, and those sorts of players. And then you move on after him and you go and look for maybe a similar type of player, but maybe slightly younger, or, you move on from that. But it's fantastic to have a player like him at the club at the moment, and it's good to see him getting on the score sheet.
A lot of players have come in for criticism today because it was a poor performance in many areas. Some of the players who did come in, Eric Bailly came in, obviously Lingard, Mata. But one player I want to talk about is Dalot. Some people are still have a lot of patience for him. Are still willing to see where he can go. Are still willing to give him time. Some fans have been like, listen, I've seen him to be injured more time than not. We bought him injured. When he has played, he's been sometimes okay, sometimes showed flashes, other times not been so good. He's defensively not good. I've heard people say he's better as a right winger, some may say. Where did you stand on not only his performance today, but where we go with him in the future and what kind of role he can have, if any?
Listen, first of all, I want every person in life to succeed, right? But every Manchester United player to succeed. So I'm never one to come out and absolutely slate a player for the person they are or the player that they are. But in my opinion, he isn't necessarily good. From what I have seen, good enough for Manchester United. Now, that could always change with performances in the future. I'm not one
What is it? What is it you see? What is it that makes you arrive at that?
No, I've seen very little. And you know, defensively, as you pointed out, defensively, a lot of people say, and he is, for me, very suspect. You look at the difference in Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Diogo Dalot defensively, it's stark.
Can't even have them in the same sentence, can you?
Absolutely. And that's the sort of quality we need at Manchester United. But then you look, okay, maybe he's great going forward. He isn't fantastic at going forward. You know, he is maybe slightly better going forward than he is defensively. But what does that say about him as a football player, as a right back? That isn't great signs anyway. So, yeah, for me, I wouldn't keep him at Manchester United. But do I hope? But yeah, I'd sell him in the summer. But I'm sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sees more of him than I do, of course. And so if he sees potential in Diogo Dalot and he's playing well in training here and there, despite us not hearing those sort of whispers, then sure, keep him. But for me, from what I've seen, you know, he's had enough time at Manchester United, and yeah, I'd chip him on.
Do Mata and Lingard have futures?
Well, that's also a big question. I think with, first off, Jesse Lingard, again, we've seen so much of him, but also at the same time, so little, right? Because he has offered very little in the games that he's played in recent years. In the last year and a half sort of thing. He's not particularly quick. His off-the-ball movement is good, but on the ball, he seems to struggle as well. And I know a lot of people, I think Troy Deeney has come out and said it, and there's been sort of rumours that he's had a lot of troubles in his personal life. So once again, I err on the side of caution in regards to slating him too much. Because,
but you're talking about football performance, and
absolutely,
you're completely justified. You're not saying he's a this, he's a that. You're purely judging him on football, which is
and at the end of the day, he hasn't been playing well enough at all, and that is the end of it. And I thought the writing was on the wall when he signed with Mino Raiola a couple of months ago. I think no one signs with Mino Raiola, an agent notoriously for getting people out of clubs for big money. No one signs with an agent like that when they've got plans of staying at the club for the next 5 years. That doesn't happen, right? So do I see him shipped off? I think that's one of the most stonewall sells, I think, at the club, because I think it's come time for both parties now, where Jesse Lingard's at his time, and I want to move on. I want a new challenger. Manchester United say, you know what? Well, we want some other players as well. So in regards to Jesse Lingard, absolutely, I'd get rid. And then Juan Mata, again, it's so sad because I'm a big fan of Juan Mata. When he signed for the club, I think we were all delighted, and he was that sort of one beam of light during that Moyes season and the years after that. Exactly. And but again, in general, his touch is fantastic. His passing is great, but he lacks that athletic ability. But today, even I felt that his touch was off, his passing was off. Now, that might be because we've been in lockdown, etc., etc. But once a player who solely relies on their touch and their technical ability, once their technical ability goes, it's a stark sort of image at that point, isn't it? So again, on Jesse Lingard and Juan Mata, the future is the same for them as far as I'm concerned. I'd tell them.
Who's your man of the match before you go?
Man of the match is a difficult one. I think it's between two, Ighalo and Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, he played well at the back. I think sometimes on the ball he was slightly suspect, as the whole team were. But it was good to see a captain of Manchester United stand up and be counted and score the winner. But for me, Ighalo was fantastic. He did, as I said, play a part in everything that we did well today. In the first goal, the sending off, and the last goal, as you said, just being a nuisance. So for me, it goes to Ighalo. But a shout out to Harry Maguire as well.
Big up yourself, man. Listen, if you're about, I will see you. Is it Wednesday we got Brighton, or is it Thursday? Wednesday, I think it is, isn't it?
I'm not sure. My day's all over the place.
Whatever day, it might even be Tuesday. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you at the next game.
Will do, buddy.
Big up,
Cheers.
man. Take care,
Bye-bye.
Sander.
Bye.
All right.